Hello, hello! My name is Kallista, and welcome back to Mass Effect Legendary Edition. In the last episode, we completed Feros, we destroyed the Thorian, we saved an Asari named Chiala, and we gained a lot of information. I'm really intrigued to see how this all plays into the larger story. Now, let's see if any of our companions have anything to say.
Hey, Commander, next time we touch down, let's try not to park the ship in a colony of mutant zombies. Just thinking out loud here.
Okay, fair dues. Yeah, I think these just sort of go round, you know, his personal histories, you know, oh, my family did this and I went to the academy. I just want to talk is, oh, you've read up on my file. And I'm pretty sure this is just going to say, oh yeah, everything's fine. So I don't think Joke has anything else to say besides, you know, a witty one-liner.
I have to go.
All right, see ya.
Okie doke. Stay safe, buddy, stay safe. And I doubt Presley has anything to say. Okie doke. First things first, Kaidan. You're the closest. Do you have anything to say? Again, I would like to learn more about you. I just don't want to bang you.
Anything you need, Commander?
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
I didn't figure you'd have time to talk with all that's going on. There's gotta be some xenobiologists who want to read about the Thorian.
Yeah, but, we kind of have bigger things to be doing.
The paperwork will keep. Something on your mind?
I'm just looking for an ear. The debriefing wasn't the right place to say how ridiculous this is. Seems like every other race in the galaxy is wrapped up in their own problems. They don't want to see what's coming.
Wanting to believe everything will be fine? Sounds like human nature to me.
Yeah, I guess some things carry across species well enough. I should remember that after what happened with Vyrnnus.
So if I remember correctly, I think Vyrnnus was, I think he was the Turian that did the training at Jump Zero. Now, here's the thing. Naomi didn't hear that because in that dialogue, I had her shut him down immediately. The only reason I am familiar with that name is because after I filmed the episode, I reloaded the save to see the different ways that conversation would have gone. Effectively, he just says that they hired this Turian, and he liked to introduce himself as, I was on the starship that killed your father, something like that. And Kaidan said, well, no, you weren't, because my dad is back home in Canada on a wine farm or wherever. I might be making up that last bit, but I swear he said something about a vineyard. And the Turian was like, oh, fuck you, you little shit. And he had it in for him ever since. Maybe they spoke about that off screen. You know, maybe when they were, you know, eating dinner, you know, in the mess or whenever. Because here's the thing, there will be times that we don't see. We don't see when Naomi is sleeping. We don't see her when she's, you know, taking some time for recreation on the ship, when they're flying in between systems. You know, we only see the parts that are all go, go, go. So maybe he opened up to her about that afterwards.
I think you'd carry a grudge over the crap you took from Vyrnnus.
Before I met Vyrnnus, I knew as much as any other civilian. Aliens were weird, superior, and tried to tell us what to do. I mean, it's only been 26 years since first contact. That's not a lot of time to understand them. But it was Vyrnnus who made me see how human aliens are. They're not different or special. They're jerks and saints, just like us. Hell, by the time I got payback, I didn't even want it anymore.
I don't see you snapping very easily. What finally did it?
He hurt Rana, broke her arm. She reached for a glass of water instead of pulling it biotically. She just wanted a drink without getting a nosebleed. Like an idiot, I stood up. Didn't know what I was gonna do, just something. And Vyrnnus lost it. Beat the crap out of me. Kept shouting how they should have bombed us back to the Stone Age. That's when the knife came up. A military-issue Talon, right in my face. I cut loose. Full biotic kick right in the teeth. Almost as strong as I can manage now. At 17, that's something.
Damn. And if I remember correctly, Rana was the girl he had a crush on. I mean, he was trying to help someone out. That ain't right. The teacher breaking a girl's arm because, oh, you didn't do it the way I taught you. That's fucked. That is extremely fucked. And standing up to him to help her out was commendable.
You wanted to help a girl you cared for. That's a noble thing.
Maybe my intentions were noble, but I lost control. I killed him, Shepard. Snapped his neck. They probably could have saved him if they got him to an infirmary quick enough. But they didn't. Caused a stir when they shipped him home. Bot training was shut down. Kinetics folded a couple of years later. So, yeah, maybe I hated that Turian. I mean, if one ass was enough to judge a whole race, I'd hate humans too.
This'll probably sound bad, but I kind of feel like the guy deserved it. Breaking a child's arm because, oh, you reached for a glass of water when you should have used your mind. Another kid stands up to defend her, and then you start beating them. You pull a knife on the child. Like, what do you expect the child to do? Oh yeah, I'll just lay here and get stabbed out. Like, no. Anyone is going to defend themselves. That was self-defense. That was absolutely self-defense. And it's not on you that you happen to defend yourself in a very efficient way. I will say, I don't believe anyone deserves to die. Maybe it's a bit much saying that he deserved to die, but if you're beating someone up and they turn around and beat your ass way harder, then maybe you shouldn't have been fucking with people like that. If you're beating someone, let's say you like, oh, you want to rob an old lady. And so you go, you grab her, you punch her, and it turns out that this old lady was a former WWE champion. And she kicks your ass. You end up with all your legs broken. Your arms are dislocated. You're in hospital for months. You can't turn around and say, oh my god, I can't believe she did that. You threw the first punch. You threw the first punch. You thought, oh, an old lady, that's an easy target. And she turned around and said, psych. Like, I have very little sympathy for someone who was going around hurting others and then their victim stood up for themselves. I have very little sympathy for that. You shouldn't have been breaking the arms of children. You shouldn't have been beating children. You shouldn't have pulled a knife on a child. Yes, Kaidan was 17 at the time. He's a child. 17 is a child. 18 is a child. 19 is a child. If you have teen in your age, I consider you to be a child. I guess, I'm just reading through these options. I guess this is like, I would assume this is like, oh, do you hate humans? Why are you a species hater? Why are you a human hater? This is like a, oh, whose side are you on? Are you on their side or my side? No, I think, here's the thing, I think a lot of what he's saying is stuff that Naomi would agree with. Aliens are not one thing. They are as diverse as humans are diverse. You can meet an Asari who is lovely, and you can meet an Asari who is a complete dickwad. Just like humans. That is a very fair point.
A reasonable stance. Keep that level head and we'll do fine.
Staying reasonable is about all we've got left. Everyone else in this galaxy seems to have gone out of their minds. Present company accepted, of course.
Hey.
Anything you need, Commander?
What's your opinion on the last mission?
I'm glad there aren't many aliens like the Thorian. I don't think my stomach could take it. One of my cousins has an agribusiness. I was thinking of calling him. Maybe he can get some shipments into Pharaohs. I mean, now that they're cut off from the company.
Oh, so they are. So they are cut off from the company. Yeah, I would bet, I would put money that if Ethan had survived, they would still have the company's backing. Again, I really hope that I did enough there. I really hope that I did enough. Yeah, anything else?
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
We're all in for the duration. You can count on everyone to do their duty.
Hey, nice.
We'll talk another time, Lieutenant.
Commander?
Okay, you do you, Kaidan. You stay strong. Ooh, hello. Thank you. And Liara? Okay. Chatquest, do you have anything new to say?
Yes, Commander? Is there something you need?
Boo.
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander.
You're one of my favourites, Chatquest. You're one of my favourites.
Commander, are you coming to check up on me?
Yeah, I think she would have been worried. She had a bit of a funny turn in front of everyone.
You look much better. How are you feeling?
Dr. Chakwas assures me I am going to be fine. I was impressed with her knowledge of Asari physiology.
This sounds very similar to the conversation that she had when she first came on board.
You're in good hands. Dr. Chakwas knows what she's doing.
I get the feeling you want to ask me something, Commander.
I like talking with you, Liara. No matter what the subject.
You have been very understanding with me, Shepard. Very patient. I appreciate that. I know there are some strange beliefs about my people. I am familiar with the legend of Asari promiscuity, but those rumors have little basis in fact. When one of my people joins with an individual from another species, it is a very deep and spiritual exchange. We do not enter lightly into a union.
Ooh. Again, this... I think Naomi cares about Liara. I do think that she feels there is a connection between them. But at the same time, she is not looking for a deep spiritual exchange. She is looking for casual fun. How do I put this? When I say this would be a red flag to Naomi, I don't mean that in terms of like, oh, I think Liara is abusive and toxic. I mean that, like, it's a red flag in terms of, oh, we may want very different things here. If you're looking for something long-term, I don't think I can offer that.
You make it sound almost mystical.
A true union goes far beyond an ordinary melding. It is a connection that transcends the physical universe. Two become one. Thoughts and senses merge, identities intertwine. Memories and emotions weave themselves together, becoming entangled in a single, rapturous whole. It is unlike any other experience. In some cases, it can be a truly life-changing event.
I mean, it is intriguing. It sounds very... Like, I've said this before, I think Naomi has had plenty of one-night stands. I think she has a very active sex life, but romantically, I don't think she has anything. I don't think she feels comfortable opening herself up to romance, because her role model for that growing up, her mum had different boyfriends like every week. Every week it'd be a new guy, and some of them were really creepy. Some of them were disinterested. Some of them were arseholes. Some of them were alright, but... You know, that was her view of romance. Her mum's shitty, shitty boyfriends. And... here's the thing, her mum moved on from person to person so quickly, but not because... she wasn't in pain, but because she had a fear of being alone, I think. And so every time she was rejected, every time these relationships would, come to an end, she would be distraught. And I think Naomi growing up, seeing that, that's what love does. Yes, my mum's idea of love is not healthy or conventional, and many people wouldn't identify it as love, but that's what my mum identifies as love. That's what she believes love is. That is what she is showing me love is. And all she's seeing is that it causes pain. As such, I think she's like, yeah, sex, great, good, big old thumbs up there. Love, ooh, no. I think I'm good. I think I'm good. Here's the thing. Again, this is another species culture. It doesn't sound weird. It sounds odd. There's a big difference between weird and odd, and this is also probably going to come out as like, oh, that's fucking stupid. And Naomi wouldn't say that. I also don't think she'd be saying, oh, is this a proposition? Because, again, from Naomi's perspective, she's like, I feel something. I feel something. I'm not quite sure what. However, we have two... You're talking about, like, two becoming one, life-changing events, a melding of minds, this, that, and the other, and I'm coming at this from a place of, like, quick fun. And I do think she likes Liara. I think she likes her as a person. I think she likes her as a friend. And I think if they had, fun, and then Liara's talking about, like, oh, we're in a relationship now, that could really fuck up their friendship. That could ruin their friendship. And as such, I don't think Naomi wants that. So I don't think she'd be making those like, oh, is this a proposition? If it was someone else, if it was someone that she didn't care about, then yeah, I could see Naomi saying this, but not for someone she considers a friend. Which does just leave me with this. I mean, I don't think that Naomi has ever considered sex to be a spiritual thing. She's never had that. She's never experienced that. And so whilst I do think she is a bit like, ooh, that sounds kind of odd to me, it is also interesting.
It sounds amazing. Are you saying...
No. Oh, no. I am not very good at this, am I? I'm sorry, Shepard. I am trying to explain why I have been so... reserved. The Union is more than just sex. It is the lifeblood of my species, the way we Asari evolve and grow as a society. That is why I have never... that is why we must choose our partners with great care.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord, she's a virgin. Again, I think that would make Naomi uncomfortable. Like, a lot of people place a lot of importance on their first time. And again, she's coming at this from like relationship. I'm coming at it from a completely different angle. I think she'd be shocked. I think she'd be shocked and she'd just blurt this out.
Wait, are you saying this is your first time?
I am only 106, barely an adult by Asari standards, and I spend most of my time absorbed in my research. I never really thought about it. Not until I met you. You are very special to me, Shepard. But with all that's happened, Saren, the Geth, the Reapers, I do not know if we are ready for this.
Again, Naomi is not gonna force this. She is absolutely not gonna force this. Oh, it's really odd because I think Liara is special to Naomi too. She found this connection with someone in a place that she never expected, with a person that she never expected. They have this bond, and I think Naomi really values it. I think Naomi really values Liara and her friendship. And I think she is very sexually attracted to Liara. But I think ultimately it comes down to the fact that Naomi is a bit scared of romance. Liara is coming at this from a romantic perspective, whereas Naomi is like, I don't know how to do that. I only know how to come at things from a sexual perspective. It's funny. Liara is coming at this like, oh, I don't know if we're ready for sex. And Naomi's like, I don't know if we're ready for romance. Neither of them want to fuck up the relationship. Both of them, they're both like, okay, we're special to each other. I think grammatically that works. You know, the pair of them acknowledge, you are special to me. And they both also acknowledge, I don't know if we're ready for this. But it comes from two very different places. Am I making any sense here? I hope I'm making sense here. So yeah, I think she completely understands that.
These are dark times, Liara. Maybe once all this is over.
I'm glad you understand, Shepard. There is too much at stake. We need to put aside our personal feelings and focus on stopping Saren. I wish it did not have to be that way. But we all have to make sacrifices. Let's talk about something else.
Okay. I can't tell if that closed the romance off. I'm not gonna lie, if it did, I would be okay with that. I think I would be okay with that. Like I said, Naomi likes Liara, but she's just scared of opening herself up to romance and being hurt, of ending up in a similar situation to her mum. And I don't say that like, oh, Liara would use and abuse her, but just the pain, the crippling loneliness that her mother felt. Because I think that from Naomi's perspective, that's how she views her mother, as a woman who was dealing with major issues. She was so lonely. She needed people. She needed sex and companionship in that regard. She viewed that as love. And as such, that attracted men who were not very nice, who did not treat her kindly. And she'd get hurt, but she'd be looking for someone the very next day, even though she was in pain. And obviously, again, if you're in pain, that's going to attract a certain type of person. So it would just snowballed. It snowballed and got worse and worse and worse. And to combat the pain, she's doing drugs and she's drinking. And that causes her to make bad life choices. And I do think that Naomi worries, you know, I've built all of this, I have a good life, but what if I start going down that path? And I think she wants to avoid that, so I would be very happy if the romance ended there with the pair of them acknowledging, hey, I like you, maybe we could be more, but I'm not ready on a sexual level and you're not ready on a romantic level. And until we deal with those problems, we shouldn't do anything, because it's just going to cause pain. It's just going to cause this fracture in our relationship.
I should go.
Goodbye, Shepard.
Do you not have anything to say about the mission?
I get the feeling you want to ask me something, Commander.
I guess you don't.
I should go.
Goodbye, Shepard.
Okay, ta-ra. Okie doke. Let's make our way down to the garage. And Garrus, buddy.
Commander, I wanted to thank you.
Okay. Goodbye! No, we'll engage.
What for, Garrus?
For everything. Taking me with you, letting me be part of your team. I've learned a lot. I've thought a lot about what you've told me. About not sacrificing innocence to achieve the goal. About finding the best way through, not just the fastest. And I've been thinking about Dr. Saleon, too. I'd convinced myself that he deserved to die, but then I started thinking about why I wanted him dead. I realized it wasn't because of what he did to those people. That was part of it, but I think most of it was because he got away from me. He escaped under my watch, and I didn't like that. I let it become personal.
Here's the thing, this sounds very dismissive, like, oh, is that it? Is that all you've learned? Oh, God.
Words mean nothing until you turn them into action, Garrus. What are you gonna do about it?
Well, I'm going back to CSEC. I think I can make a difference there. I'll also reapply for Spectre training, but I'll do it right. I won't compromise myself to get there. If the people I'm sworn to protect can't trust me, then I don't deserve to be the one protecting them.
Hey, that's great! That's fantastic news!
I'm glad you see it that way. Keep that in mind when we meet Saren.
Don't worry, Commander. I will.
Hey, good for you, buddy. Good for you.
Commander, good to see you.
Okie doke. And I am gonna bring this episode to a close right here. In the next one, we'll have a chat with Ashley. But until then, please remember to like if you enjoyed, leave a comment below. And if you wanted to subscribe, it would be very much appreciated. I've been Callista. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode.